Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo for this reading to resonate with you. Alright, babies. So, Lord, I've been procrastinating. I'm not even doing the Sunday in Mimosas. I was supposed to. Because I know y'all love these videos like the Sunday and Mimosas and the couch talks, and I know that they help y'all, and that's why I still do them, because I know they're helping y'all. But sometimes y'all, these Sunday Mimosas and these couch talks is just like going to a therapy session, and sometimes it's just a little bit too much. Okay, so there's sometimes it comes a time in your healing journey when you don't want to talk about the shit you need to heal from still, because you get tired of talking about it or get tired of having to constantly deal with it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've been here a few times with it, but I don't want to have to keep talking about, oh, I've been molested, or oh, I've been, through different types of trauma. Like, yes, that is a big part of my story, but that's not the only part of my story. And I really want to be able to focus more, like with my everyday life, on the things that do make me happy and that are going right, and just these beautiful connections and reconnections I'm making with some awesome, amazing people. Okay? So, but we are going to talk about my traumas today. Okay? We are going to talk about it though. So, basically, I kind of threw this one in because I feel like it's very fitting. And I've been asked this before, but I don't know. I guess I kind of took it a little bit more to heart because of who asked me this time. And it was my Rosie boo, one of my moderators, Rosie. Shout out to Callie. Rosie asked me, oh girl, Rosie. I don't even know how long ago that was. You asked me this question. I think it was a couple months ago. She was like, what made you start your healing journey? And that's a good ass question. Because it was not until Rosie asked me this question I realized I didn't really start my healing journey when I thought I did. When I thought I did. And that's why I be like, y'all, this spiritual shit, like, the way you approaching it is not necessarily 100% right. I'm just trying to give you the formula, because you have to build your own formula, but there's certain basics. Like with a cake, you need flour, you need milk, you need eggs or whatever, you need oil or whatever, you need these things for a cake. It's like that. Some things are just the basics that you need, and once you have that and you add it into your formula, your spiritual journey, your healing journey, it doesn't necessarily get easier, but it becomes better for you to deal with. So, like I said, I thought I had started my healing journey way sooner than what I thought until Rosie asked me this question. So, if you would have asked me this question a few years ago, I probably would have said, oh, I started my healing journey, when I was in my teens. I decided I didn't have a religion, and that's when I started looking at stuff different, and that's when I got into chakras. So basically, when I came across chakras is when I probably would have told you that's when I started my healing journey. Because that's when I started learning about energy and certain things of that nature. But I wasn't healing. I was still existing. Met my ex-fiance. Got somebody say they love me, they treat me right, they introduced me to all this shit I've been looking for. He basically led me to the answers I've been looking for. He led me through the door. He took me to the party, basically, okay? He took me to the party. But I made my own connections when I got in the door, if you understand. So he's not responsible for anything, but he was a key to it, let's say that. So I'm thinking all this time in my 20s, I've been healing. I'm thinking, yes, I've been learning all this spiritual shit, and I've been getting all these spiritual gifts, and I've been doing this and doing that and helping this one, and so yeah, lying to my damn self, I found out. To be all the way 100 with y'all, I technically did not start my healing journey until June 19th, 2018. It's a very, very, very important date for me in my life, which probably explains why I've slept all day today. I couldn't go to sleep, didn't go to sleep until 5 a.m. I woke up at 11, stayed up for a couple hours, and went back to sleep. Sometimes depression can sneak in on you, and you don't even know it. I'm okay, y'all. But sometimes I go through these phases or these states of depression or feeling suicidal or just having no drive sometimes. I don't go through the no drive thing too often though. Clearly. But depression, yeah, I go through depression more than what I would like to admit that I do. Feeling suicidal, not as much as I used to. Nowhere near as much as I used to. But depression has become so much a part of me that sometimes I don't realize I'm depressed until weeks later. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta do something about this shit, because this shit can't stay. Now, I don't really want to call this a depression, but I mean, I guess we gotta call a spade a spade. This is a little mini depression I'm in right now. And it wasn't until my mom said something is when I realized why. So like I said, June 19, 2018 is when I started my healing journey. The reason why, because on June 19, 2018, 11 a.m. to be exact, I was in my work vehicle, driving in my area, and I was making a right turn into a shopping center, and I got hit very hard on the passenger back end of my work vehicle by a lady who is married to a police officer. Y'all already know I've been through my shit with the police, so having her husband show up on the scene of a car accident didn't help anything. Having her husband threaten me, letting me know that he knows different police officers in the area, didn't help anything. So I already feel like, well, shit, no one's going to believe me anyway. That's trigger number one. Got in a car accident, police show up, I get threatened. Trigger number two. I have been in a car accident before this one. Only one car accident before that one. And that was March 15th, 2016 to be exact. I was driving a Crown Vic and the brakes went out and I slammed into the back of somebody. And I'm actually grateful that I did, because who knows where that fucking car would have went or what traffic I would have ran into if I hadn't ran into the back of that lady to stop me. I really feel like God saved me. And I fucked my ribs up really bad in that car accident, because that's when I didn't used to wear a seatbelt properly, and I had it across my ribs but not across my chest, and also the airbag deployed on me as well. So yeah, fucked my neck up too, because I saw the airbag coming, thank God, because I didn't want that shit to hit me in my face. So I turned and it fucked my neck up. But that was the first accident. It has nothing to really do with this one, but it kind of does. So, like I said, I was in my work vehicle, got threatened by the police. That was trigger number one. Trigger number two is, I go home. I still have to work, but I go home because I had to pick up, it was actually my last day on the job. And I had to pick up the person I had to train in a few hours. I go home, try to blow it down, try to get the pain to go away. Pain ain't going nowhere. From my neck to my knees, everything is stiff. Everything is burning, stabbing, hurting, like, yo. But basically, I knew I had to suck it up. Got to go back to work. Got to finish the day. Got to clock out. So, I knew my body was fucked up, y'all. I knew my body was fucked up. But I'm like, you know what? It's just some whiplash. But my hip was hurting. And I'm like, damn, my hip hurt a lot. I was like, fuck it, pop some pills, smoke a blunt, you be alright. That's just kind of the lifestyle I become accustomed to. Because in Virginia, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but there's a certain energy in Virginia. Especially in my area, and especially in the city I currently reside in. It's a heavy-ass energy over this shit. That came from the history before, if you understand what I'm saying. And those people are not pleased. So this land is kind of cursed in a way. But the people in my area that come from the backgrounds that I come from, we gotta bust our ass extra hard just to survive. Not live comfortable, not be balling, survive. In the family and the bloodline I come from, the women are the strongest thing. We always hold shit down. From my great grandma to my grandma to my mama to me. It's just a history of even my great great grandma. We just hold shit around us the fuck down. So me saying, you know what, my body is fucked up, I can't do this work shit, that was never an option in my mind at that point in time. Self-sacrifice myself. Not good. I know. Now, where the problem comes in is, I trained my person. Shit, everything was A-okay, good to go. Got off the clock. They was like, damn, you did a great job. Got me a little bonus check, too. What the problem comes in is, the next day I wake up, I'm still in fucking pain. Worse than before. Man said, shit, no bad. Just suck it up. Gotta find another job. Gotta keep making money. So I'm like, I'm just gonna try to rest for a few days. And, next week I'll be back on my feet. I'll be good to go. Take a couple of hot showers. The pain will go away. 5 days later. Because when I say I was in pain, I was in pain. Okay? Because I have so many different injuries. And anytime I walk into an orthopedic office, they be like, my God, what the fuck? You have multiple injuries? What the fuck? But, 5 days later, I did not want to get out of bed for shit. Didn't feel like I could make it out of bed. I feel this excruciating pain that I could never be able to fully describe to you. And I said, oh God, I know what that is. So I get up and go to the bathroom. Because at that point, I really have no choice. Because I already knew what it was. I was having a miscarriage. And the only reason why I knew what that was, because I felt that pain before. And don't nothing feel like a fucking miscarriage. I don't know what giving birth to a baby feel like yet, but miscarriages fucking hurt. Okay? They fucking hurt. And they don't just hurt for one day. No. No, it's not a one-day pain. So, I know that this is going to be a little explicit, a little graphic. But, look down in the toilet. I remember I heard this big drop. And I said, fuck. I done been through this before. And I remember I looked in the toilet. And it was just a pool of blood. Like, I didn't see no water. I just saw blood. And I remember I looked in the toilet and I said, damn. Hope it ain't no baby in there. But I knew it was, though. The reason I didn't tell my twin flame, I have very, very, very high suspicions of me being pregnant because I keep throwing up, keep crying over the little shit. It's very, very sensitive to smells, mood swings. My nipples is huge as hell. I mean, huge. Okay, they were huge. Like, it was certain things, and people who were really close to me, they kept asking me, was I pregnant? I kept telling them no. But I knew deep down I was. I could actually feel my baby's energy. So to kind of speed this up, y'all, I go through the miscarriage by myself, and I ain't tell nobody. So I found out some months later, after I had the miscarriage. There's this thing that I don't think they really have a name for it, but after you have a miscarriage, it's just like you having an actual baby. In 4 to 6 weeks after your miscarriage, you can go through this thing that's very, very, very similar to postpartum. And I did. And I didn't realize I was going through something like that. That's why I have a very special space in my heart for females that have had children and they go through postpartum. You don't even realize that you're in that shit. So basically, y'all, I was going through all of that. I was going through the depression, the mood swings still, and just really being angry a lot. I remember that. I was really angry a lot, and I remember I was really angry with my mom. And she didn't know I was really just angry about the fact that I knew I had lost my child again. And I lost the second miscarriage, which basically went exactly how my first miscarriage went. But I'll get more into the details of all of that when I tell y'all those stories. But, basically, I remember one day I was talking to my mom and I was mad with her. And I remember I had came in the house and I had sat down and I took Marley's leash off. And I mean, like, won't even 5 minutes. And I was just angry. Because me losing my child triggered off different things that I've gone through in my life and in my childhood. It triggered off what I went through with my first miscarriage and that relationship, and it triggered off the fact that, all honesty, y'all, I felt like a failure in life because I want better for my child, but I didn't want to lose my child. Even though I was not ready to bring a child into this world, I did not want to lose my baby though. And just all of those emotions was coming to the surface, and she didn't know I had lost the baby. And it actually got into an argument, and I don't know how we went from an argument to her grabbing me. But when I am angry like that, you do not touch me, okay? And that's not what you do. No. You call my name. You just keep saying Nina, and eventually I will calm down. Don't touch me, though, okay? And don't be right up on me, either. Because then I feel like you're invading my space. I'm going to feel like I'm under attack. And then I'm going to feel like I have to fight. Now, I did not hit my mother, okay? I did not hit her. But she grabbed me. Well, I know why she grabbed me. She grabbed me because, like I said, I was going off. And when I'm angry, well, I used to do this. I have broken out of this finally. But I used to throw shit because I didn't want to hit her. So I'll be so angry. That anger has to go somewhere. I call myself Sekhmet for a reason, okay? That shit is very, very strong. So I remember I was just in the kitchen. I just started throwing glass. Because like I said, I used to break glass when I'm angry. And I was breaking up her shit though. So I understand why she was mad. Like, you breaking my shit up now. You ain't breaking up your shit. You breaking up my shit. And she grabbed me because she didn't want me to break anything else. But she wasn't listening to what I was saying. She was just looking at how I was acting. And that's why I said it's a difference between trauma and drama. And we, especially in the Black community, have to do better with separating the two and understanding this person is not being dramatic. This person is being traumatic. And we have to stop feeling like, oh, this person, that's just how they are and they just crazy. No, you have to look deeper than that. And my mother was not listening. She heard me, but she was not listening. And I mean, y'all, was glass all on the floor and shit. And I remember she grabbed me, and without even thinking, because I'm under attack in my mind, but I knew it was my mama, so I didn't hit her. But I grabbed her back, and I slung us both to the ground. Because you're not going to put your hands on me. No, we both going to the ground. Now, the problem was, it was glass on the fucking floor. So, we both fucked up, okay? We both fucked up, but I remember that scared my grandma, though. And my grandma told me, well, she didn't tell me. She just said out loud, she was like, I'm going to call the police. And I let go. And I told y'all, I hate that people do that to me. And I said, I didn't even think about that. See, that's what I be talking about. I didn't even think about that. Like, my grandma said that. My grandma said, I'm going to call the police. Like, damn. But anyways, the day after that happened, I ain't talking to nobody, okay? I don't want to talk to no fucking body. And I felt bad that I got into an altercation with my mother. Because that's not something I want to do or ever am proud of. And out of the blue, somebody that I had met through a business deal hits me up and it was like, hey, I remember when I met you, you spit me this poem about how you had got molested. And they're like, I'm starting this group called SOS, which is Survivors of Sexual Trauma. And he was like, I would really like for you to be a part of it. And he explained to me what the purpose of the group was. Basically, it's a private group, and we come together in this church. And how many of us was it? It was probably like 7 of us. And it's black women, just black women. And we get together not only to, we didn't even talk about our traumas, actually. We never, and see, that's something that made it so dope, because he did not want to focus on our traumas. He wanted to focus on how to deal with it. He wanted to focus on basically the solution of it. And I told him I would do it. And that's how I got into journaling again. Because I used to journal when I was younger, but you know, we call it a diary, you know. But journaling is different from a diary to me, because your journaling is doing it with intent to make documentation, to record. And that's why I tell y'all to journal, because you're doing it with an intent, so you can go back and look at it and see how far you have actually really come. So we always had like a journal exercise we had to do. And it seems like I was the only one who took that shit serious. He just kind of stopped asking after a while, because people weren't doing it. But I did mine every week. And he always used to tell me how he thought I was so dope about that. The fact that I took my healing serious. And damn, I feel like I owe this man a plate now. I do. Because, like, damn, they really helped me a lot, y'all. And that was the group where I got to ask different questions with people who married and have children. Like, well, how do y'all deal with this? And how do y'all husbands deal with that? And how do you react when something like this happens with your kids? Or, you know, stuff that was actually really helpful. So support groups are really a good thing, long as it's with the right people, y'all. And that's SOS group really helped me a lot. And mind you, still in chronic pain, by the way. And ain't went to nobody hospital. And I was over it after the fight with my mom. So we started the SOS group. I think we met once a week. But it hadn't started yet. It wasn't starting until September. So until September came, because me and my mom, we got into it. And that fight happened. It was like the end of July. And I remember after that happened too, I wrote a poem called Thug Life. I gotta find that poem. If I can remember, I'll spit it for y'all. But let me write that down. Thug Life poem. Yeah, let me try to find that. So in between the time from July to September, I told y'all, like, shit, bills gotta get paid. So Shorty went to go find her another job. And the first job I got, it actually ended up not working out. Stayed there for 3 hours. I was in too much pain, and it's fucked up because that was a slow day when I came in, and all I had to do was just stand around and just walk around. And my body could not take that shit. I felt like somebody was literally sawing my skeleton out of my body. It felt like somebody was trying to remove my ribs, my spine, my neck, my hips. That shit fucking hurts, y'all. And we went on our first break, and Shorty went in the car and kept rolling. kept rolling. I remember I ran into not ran into somebody. I actually ended up video chatting with somebody on my way home that I never met, but he knew my twin flame. And I'll get into the details of that story when I tell y'all the rest of the twin flame story. But I had to get off the phone with him because I got a call for another job interview. So I actually ended up getting another job that I ended up staying at for a month and a half at this hotel. And oh Lord, that job there, boy. Okay, y'all please be nice to y'all fucking housekeepers. If you ain't nice to nobody else at the hotels, be nice to the fucking housekeepers. Please, cause boy, they go through hell. Y'all some nasty motherfuckers. I'm telling you that right now. Y'all some nasty motherfuckers. These hotels, I don't want to use nothing that the hotel provides. I will bring my own sheets, blanket, towels, washcloths. I'm good, okay? I'm good. But, y'all, that job was hell. I was in so much pain, and I do believe at that job, I actually made my injuries worse because I'm pushing a big-ass, tray full of shit, and I'm moving beds, vacuuming, bending over, cleaning tubs and toilets and floors, and like, y'all, I used to be on fire. My body would be on fire every time I would leave work. I used to have to pop 2 pills and smoke a blunt before I would go to work just to be able to walk through the door and not look like I'm in pain. Like, this shit is ridiculous, y'all. And this is why I say you gotta put your health first. Because at that point in time, my mindset was money over everything. Okay? And like MOE. Money over everything. Literally, even myself. And that is not smart. And that's why I say make sure you take your breaks. You take care of yourself. You listening to your body. You drinking your water. You exercising. Even though I'm not completely with, the Western medicine and shit. But you do need to do checkups at least, y'all. Make sure everything is alright. So, yeah, in misery at this job. Lasted at the job for a month and a half. Like, right after my birthday. And I remember I got sick. Like, I caught, like, the flu. It was something like the flu. But if it won't the flu, it felt like the flu, though. But I don't get sick like that. So I knew something was wrong, right? Because I'm like, yo, I can count on one hand and like damn near the last I don't know how many years I actually caught a cold or some shit. I don't get sick like that. And I was like, oh hell nah. And I told my job I was sick and I had to call out a few days, and they was like, okay, well just come back to work next week. But the schedule is different every week, and they got their favorites and this, that, and the third. And basically, they were trying to force me to quit anyway, because they gave me this nasty, trifling ass room. I'm talking about the room had roaches, y'all. It was oatmeal in the bathroom sink, stopping up the sink. The toilet was stopped up. The tub was stopped up. The kitchen sink was stopped up. The bathroom sink was stopped up. I'm talking about it's Cheetos and Cracker Crumb. Like, y'all, that shit was so nasty. I said, I'd be damn if I clean this shit, bro. Nope, they got bugs. I can't clean it. Need to call the Terminex people. Nope. And they were basically trying to get me to quit anyway, and then I ended up getting sick, and I'm like, fuck going back. I ain't gonna go check no fucking schedule. Fuck going back. So, yeah. And that leads to probably a week and some change later, chilling in my room, sitting Indian style. And I sit Indian style a lot. And I'm like, damn, my leg hurt, bro. Like, my thigh and shit. Like, it's actually iliac, something like that. Iliac, something like that. Crust. I'm like, damn, this shit hurt. I'm like, why the fuck this shit feel so tight for? And something told me, touch it. And I touched it. And it was this big ass lump. And I mean, y'all, I thought it was a tumor, okay? I thought that shit was a tumor. That shit was big. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I'm Googling shit. I started crying and shit. And eventually I just broke down. And then it was like 5 a.m. And I woke up, I'm still in pain. That lump's still there. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. And so I called my pops. I don't know. Like, it seemed like he came through a couple times for the kid. And I'm like, Dad, I need you to take me to the emergency room. So he came and got me, took me to the emergency room. And he actually looked a little worried. I ain't never seen him that worried about me in his life. Though I don't really see him, so I guess, never mind. We're working on growth. Yes. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the real daddies out there. Happy Father's Day. Yes. Anyways. Trying to keep it positive. I go to the hospital, and basically I had to fast forward this part up. Yeah, I'm laying in there in pain by myself because he had to go to work. And I'm in there, I'm texting a couple of people that knew I was there. And they just trying to make sure I'm trying to go to sleep because I'm like, I ain't really get the best sleep because it's kind of hard to sleep when you're in chronic pain. Well, I wasn't in chronic pain at that time. But when you're in a lot of pain, it's hard to sleep. And I remember the nurse came in. Because they asked me, like, everything I was feeling, symptoms, last period, da-da-da-da-da. And I remember the nurse came in, and she was like, yeah, we're going to have to go get some ultrasounds, because we want to make sure that that lump isn't the baby. And I said, the baby? And she looked at me, and she was, like, looking at me like, oh, shit. She don't know she pregnant. So I go get the ultrasounds done. And the doctor comes in, and he's basically, because they didn't want to give me like an ultrasound or anything. And I don't know why, y'all. I went in there for my hip, the lump in my hip, which has nothing to do with my reproductive organs, okay? But I'm trying to tell you, the ancestors was on it. And when the doctor came in, the first thing that came out my mouth is, I want you to check my ovaries. And I don't know why I said that shit other than the ancestors, my great divine, told me to say that shit. And he was like, why do we need to check your ovaries for? I'm like, I just want my ovaries checked. I don't know why. I was so fucking persistent about getting my ovaries checked. And they did it. They did the ultrasound. And the doctor came back in. And when I say that man was in damn near tears, y'all. His eyes was so watery. And he was like, you need to go see an OBGYN. And he was like, you need to make sure you're doing your checkups. And he had to leave out. He was like, just make sure you do your checkups, okay? And I'm like, okay, something's wrong. This lady talking about babies, this, that, and the third. Mind you, even though I had the miscarriage, and I will have to explain the story of my first miscarriage for y'all to understand why I carried my second pregnancy / miscarriage the way I did. And I actually had to walk through that with my therapist to understand why I did that. Because I'm like, I don't understand why I carried it like that. And I knew in the back of my mind I was pregnant, but I carried it so wrong, though. But, so I go home, and there's this thing that you can log into. And I don't know if every hospital has it, but in my area it's called My Chart. And you can read your doctor's notes and stuff, even the shit that you don't understand. So Shorty was Googling shit. As soon as that shit popped up, now remember that shit popped up, it was close to midnight. It was like 11 something. And it was close to midnight, and it said my results had popped up. So I go read it, and I get down to the part about the ultrasound. I'm like, oh, this shit don't look right. So I get to Googling the words, have a piece of shit together. Basically, y'all, basically what the ultrasound said was, I was pregnant, but there is no baby there anymore. And the thing that makes it so crazy is that piece that I had to go Google to figure out what the fuck it meant, and it was telling me that it was evidence that I was pregnant, but there's no baby there now, is no longer there. Anytime I get an ultrasound, I look for that, and it's not there anymore. That's the only time it popped up on that ultrasound. And it's like it was God's way of saying, I'm confirming to you that you were pregnant. And I just left it there long enough so you would know. And that actually has something to do with some spiritual stuff too that I will explain to y'all in the Twin Flame story. So basically, I'm going through all of this, having to go see different doctors to speed this up to some of y'all now, so y'all can understand like how hurt I was. And then I start my SOS groups and stuff too. And they were very supportive, helping me through it, because nobody around me understood what I'm going through. far as chronic pain, being molested, mental health, and losing a child. It's like my family, even though they've experienced miscarriage and stuff, it's like they don't understand that. And then I told my father as well. I said, basically they telling me I had a miscarriage. My father stopped talking to me for a few months because I said that, because he wasn't happy because I wasn't married. So naturally I went into a depression. I did end up telling my twin flame because he's in the music industry, y'all. I can say that much. He's in the music industry, so like he does a lot of different things. He records, engineers, raps, and he also produces. So me and him were actually working on something for me, and he came over to record it. And that's when I ended up telling him, because he saw I was in the hospital. Because I posted a picture of the IV in my arm and shit. Because I was scared. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Found a fucking lump. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I didn't tell nobody what was wrong with me, though. I was like, y'all just say a prayer for me. So he saw I was in the hospital. And I remember he hit me up. He was like, damn, girl. He was like, take care of yourself. And I ended up talking to him when he came over. And my scary ass didn't tell him straight out that I had a miscarriage. I said the doctor terminology that I saw on the thing. I was like, do you know what that means? And he looking at me like, no. I was like, the fuck would you expect me to know what that means? And I ended up telling him, and that was a very emotional moment. Because he embraced me so hard. I remember that. But, so speeding this up some more. Basically, me and him, we had a falling out, and I was already depressed anyway. And so I just basically went into grind mode. And at that point in time, that's when I had started birthing Queen Alchemy in my head. Because I already had the energy cleanse out, and I had the abundance miss out. But that's when I really started birthing, like, the details of what y'all basically seeing now with Queen Alchemy. And I also had started working on another line for my boutique as well. So I just basically tried to cover up my pain and everything I was going through by grinding, by working a lot, by trying to act like, oh, I'm not in pain. I'm out here, promoting my brand, getting this money. Fuck that. Like, fuck pain. And I was really doing a disservice to myself. All honesty. And the SOS groups ended in December. So it was only for a few months. And it ended in December. And so I just completely went into like this whole grind mindset of I don't need nobody. I just need me, Marley, and money. Basically. So I'm in grind mode. Just trying to figure different ways to make money. Because I was in chronic pain, couldn't work for nobody, and some shit. Shorty gonna work for her goddamn self. You got me fucked up. And I'm also performing a lot, too. Now, mind you, I feel like a bum showing up to these fucking performances if I can't wear heels. So my ass still trying to wear heels and shit, causing further injury. And I can only stay at events for like probably 45 minutes usually. But that's when, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, Koncrete Rose just started popping again out of nowhere. Like, I never stopped popping, but I was very, very booked at that point in time. And that's when I performed for iHeartRadio, and I performed for NAACP, and I had also 2 performances in one day. And that's when I told y'all the story, about Crazy Bitch. You know about the Crazy Bitch. And so I'm doing all of that, promoting the brand and stuff. And I remember me and my cousin had got into it on Facebook. Dominic's sister, y'all. And she made me feel so low. She cussed me out in the inbox, but on Facebook she acted like she was an angel. And she was like, oh, Nina, I just don't understand, And I don't think she understood the impact that she had on me and everything I was fucking going through. I basically let her know on her Facebook, which is a bad habit of mine that I do. Like, I be like, fuck everybody else. I don't give a fuck who read this shit. I'm talking to you. And I can go in on a person But I didn't go in on her. I just said I don't like coming into North Carolina basically because y'all treat me like shit. And that led to, like I said, me and her going back and forth in my inbox, and I got unfriended. I think I got blocked too, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I really don't care. You don't talk to me anyway, so what fucking difference is it making, right? But I was depressed, and I never came out of that depression after I had that miscarriage. It just kept getting worse. Like my twin flame rejected me again. Like after I tell you about the miscarriage, you shit on me again though. You act like you there, and then you're not there no more. And I'm like, I can't. So it's just a lot of stuff I was going through, still going through it with my mom, still going through it with my sister, and still going through it with my dad too at that time. And it was just a lot going on, plus chronic pain and realizing I need to heal, but not knowing exactly how to necessarily do it. And at that point in time, I felt like the best way is just to confront people with what my issues are and not hold anything back. And that is correct, but the way I was doing it was not correct because, y'all, I was very angry. And anger is something I have struggled with my entire life because I've been getting violated, since I was 4. I didn't understand how to communicate. I'm not happy. I don't like this. I'm uncomfortable. Never felt protected, so I feel like I always gotta fucking pop. I feel like I always gotta let you know, back the fuck up. Don't try me. This ain't what you want. Okay? It's really not, though. But everything, it's like I was confronting with confliction, if that's a word. God damn it, shit. I was confronting with conflict, basically, y'all. And that's not the way to do it. But the reason why is because I don't just be popping off for nobody for no reason. I pop off because you went out your way to do something disrespectful. At least how I view it in my eyes, okay? Working on growth, so how I view it. That's how I see it, right? So, not being heard or feeling like I am not respected is a very, very big trigger for my anger. Especially with the people I love and care for. And that shit really took me over the edge. And I ain't gonna lie, I tried to commit suicide. And this particular day, I was in my room and I kept crying. And I had my bedroom door closed. And Marley, she's not the type to care anything about privacy, right? So I had the door closed because I didn't want her to see me like that. And she's an empath as well, so she picks up on my emotions very easily. She ain't even got to be in the same room. And I remember I took this knife in the very same wrist that I have my mental health mojo tattoo to tell me not to commit suicide. I put that knife directly into that tattoo. And I remember I was having a conversation with one of my friends when I told him I had tried to commit suicide. And he asked me how. And I told him how, and he asked me how I was going to cut myself. And I told him a cross. And he was like, well, you wouldn't have killed yourself anyway, you just would have bled a lot. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you wanted to kill yourself, you would have cut yourself vertical and not horizontal. And he told me, Nina, don't you ever fucking do that. And I was about to cut myself vertical and not horizontal. And I pushed the knife into my wrist. And I'm crying hysterically. And as soon as I pushed that knife into my wrist, Marley busted through my bedroom door. And she came and she pushed the knife out of my wrist. And that is why I go so hard for that little girl. Because when all the world sees is somebody who is popping off, or somebody who they think has an anger issue, or who is just batshit crazy, Marley sees somebody who is hurt and who is in pain, who's not feeling respected or heard, because she knows how that feels. And that's how I ended up with her. Because the first family that had her sent her back, because they didn't understand her, because they didn't take the time to understand her. And I think that was the point when Marley understood that mommy's not an angry person. Mommy's just misunderstood because mommy hurts a lot. But as y'all know, as I told y'all in the couch talk though, me and my cousin getting into it online was part of the reason why me and Dominic's parents got into it in my grandma's house. So to speed this up some more, okay, see, this is why I ain't want to do this shit. Got me in here crying and shit. Oh, okay, so to speed this up some more, basically, at that point, I just realized I have no type of support system, really, all honesty, other than Marley. So, like I said, me and Marley versus the world. So I ended up having the bake sale, and as y'all know, that's when I got into the fight with Dominic's parents. And that's when I realized I really need to go talk to somebody, because I don't want to stay this way. I don't want to stay hurt and depressed and be angry, or feel like I always got to keep looking over my shoulder like I can't trust nobody. I want to have loving people around me that I know I can trust and that's 100 with me. And I have that, but going through this process, I had to weed a lot of people out so I could have that, okay? So, y'all. So I started therapy. In therapy, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, in 2019, my therapist was everything to me. It was always a good session to me. But, gracious. When I started going to go see my therapist, I think the thing that probably hurts the most was when I filled out that form, and I told her, and I was so raw when I filled out that form. It took me an hour to fill that form out. And I was very honest, very transparent about the things I have experienced and what I want to work on within myself, what I don't like about myself that I wanted to change, and just the multiple traumas. And when I sat down in that lady's office the first day, and she told me, Miss Nina, I ain't ever read anything that extensive or ever basically had a client with that many issues. Like, she have clients with some really seriously deep issues, y'all. I mean, seriously deep issues, y'all. But it's like that issue is that one deep issue. I have multiple deep issues. And it's like, she wasn't trying to make me feel bad, but damn, it made me feel like shit, though. I'm like, I'm a fucking Lifetime movie waiting to happen. Like, this is going to be a BET exclusive. Like, this is horrible. And this is my life. And then it's hurtful, because then, like, when I reflect back and I think about, even still to this day, when I tell people, like, on a personal level, like, when I'm literally sitting there talking to people, whether it be video chat or in person, and I tell them a story or something I've been through, and their reaction, their facial reactions, the sounds they naturally make out their mouth when I tell them, that makes me feel like shit sometimes. I'm like, fuck, this is not normal, bro. And, like, then people want to know why people commit suicide or why people even think about it. It's because we go through shit that the normal person doesn't go through. It's great that you had a wonderful life where you had at least one parent that gave a fuck. Some of us have parents that we feel like neither one of them do. Like, it's people out here real life going through real life shit. I know people who started selling crack at 11, my G. Like, yo, this is real life. That's why I be getting on y'all asses sometimes. I know I be making y'all mad, but y'all need to stop taking that shit personal when I be like, fuck the makeup, the nails, and the wigs. I wear all of that shit sometime. You gotta realize that shit don't make you. Or fuck the, oh, I got money. Because guess what? There's plenty of people that lost that shit. What you gonna have when everything is stripped away from you? Are you really happy is the point. So therapy made me look at all of that shit and made me really realize my circumstances will not get better until I decide to get better as a person. And it really helped me see other people's point of view at that point in time. But the thing it really helped me with the most was how to calm down and have different tools to have access to or to use, instead of the only thing I know, which is pop off. And we all know where that has gotten me before. So, yes. So, I was in therapy and still grinding, though. Shorty was still grinding because bills got to get paid. I take care of Marley. I refuse to be a deadbeat, okay? I refuse to be a deadbeat. Well, in therapy, and it was going well, and then challenges come up to test to see if I actually can apply the things that I'm learning. And I actually ended up confronting my twin flame during a studio session when I was recording the intro for She's King's Mercurial Soul. Y'all please go check that out if you haven't. And I confronted him about the miscarriage, and I will tell y'all that story when I tell y'all the twin flame story. And basically not too long after that, me and him stopped talking. It wasn't even really an agree to disagree thing. It was energetically, I knew I couldn't be around this man. I could not be friends. I could not work with this man. Because his energy, his lifestyle, the path he was on was completely toxic to everything I was working on and working towards. And I just knew it needed to be a separation. So to fast forward some more, still in therapy, still going through shit that I will tell y'all about later. And I did end up getting in a fight last year that I will tell y'all the details about, probably in another Sunday Mimosa, with my mom and with my sister. I also got sexually assaulted. And that kind of was the thing that took it over the edge. And I will tell y'all that story, like I said, in another Sunday Mimosa. Because all of that happened, like, in the same weekend. So, that hit off certain triggers. And it made me realize, though, that even though I'm doing all of my healing, I still have problems, I still have issues, and bad things are still happening to me. So I go into a deeper depression and I kind of sat there for a few weeks. And I swear to you, the only thing that kept me on this earth at that point in time was the fact that I woke up every day thinking about Queen Alchemy and what product was I going to create today before my launch. And that's why I say I am so grateful for y'all. And I'm so grateful for Queen Alchemy. Because Queen Alchemy has completely changed my life. And the things that I've been making over the last 11 years, or the things I have been creating in my head over the last 11 years, I'm actually seeing it come to life. And people are actually buying it and telling me how much they love it. So during this healing process, not only have I been able to find me again, but I've also been able to find my purpose and live in it. And even as great as Queen Alchemy has been to me, as y'all know, I launched it locally in a store as well. Went through a lot of shit because People love my products. And who does she think she is? She ain't no healer. She can't heal nobody. Like, yo, the shit I used to log into on my personal Facebook account and see not even 2020, 2019 and 2018, people have been going in on me. And that's why I be blocking and deleting people, because I cannot give you my energy. And if your energy is against me, then why do you deserve to be here? Why do you deserve to be in my presence? I don't give a fuck that you don't like me. That's not the issue. There's always going to be someone who don't like me. But it's the fact that you're voicing it in a very passive-aggressive way. A very punk-ass, bitch-ass way. Instead of coming to me and saying, hey, Nina, I don't like that shit, yo. I could respect you more. Even though I drag her, I have more respect for Crazy Bitch than I got for a lot of fucking people. Because at least she came to me and say, bitch, I got an issue with your ass. I could respect that. I can. I don't like that crazy bitch, but I can respect her for at least being grown enough to say, bitch, we got an issue. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I've gone through that with a few people. Some people actually worked out and we are even closer. And some people, well, bitch, block and delete is there for a reason. But as much as I have had a success with Queen Alchemy, it has created a lot of hate in my area for me, as well as the Koncrete Rose, because for some reason people feel like because you're starting to get a little bit of success, you're supposed to pull their ass up with you. But how am I gonna do that when I'm only strong enough right now to pull my damn self up? I'll come back and get you though. Shit. But I'm dealing with that, y'all, and logging into my personal Facebook and always seeing people having something negative to say about me. People who don't know me. And then they get in the comments going in on the kid. I'm like, this is some interesting shit, boy. To even somebody coming under a fake YouTube page, which bitches do it all the time now, so now it's just funny. But, and coming and just leaving a long laundry list of lies. Well, I'm still like, this is some shit here, boy. The fact that you are that consumed with my greatness, that you got to go out of your way to set up an email, make a fake page, put in a birth date and everything, bitch. Okay. Come up with a handle and everything, aka username, to stalk little old me. I am the shit. Okay? I am the shit. Because if somebody unfriend me or block me, baby, that's good. Go on with your life. Thank you. Trash took itself out. That's how I look at it. So, y'all, dealing with that, which made my social anxiety even worse. And as y'all know, I was very transparent with y'all last year about some of the stuff I was going through. So last year, I was kind of in and out of depression. I didn't stay there. But, like, the first half, it was like an in and out thing. And then I started getting my shit together. I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this no more. So some of the challenges I'm still facing is I am still being disrespected and not being heard. And something I have had to learn is pretty much, oh the fuck well. Nah. What I really have learned, y'all, is the people who are aligned with your energy, the people who are really supposed to be there, they're going to hear you. They're going to try. They're going to make some type of effort. And not everyone is capable of doing that. Like I talked about in another Sunday Mimosa, some people are unable, some people are unwilling. You have to be able to know the difference between the two as well. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much like Remy said, you just gotta not deal with people, right? Why give my energy to someone who's showing me through their actions? Fuck what you're saying out your mouth. You're showing me through your actions that you do not give a fuck about me. Then there's no need for us to have any connection. It ain't gotta be no hate there. My only thing is just stop putting my name in your mouth, bitch. I'm not food. I know I look delicious, but I'm not food. That's my only issue. And if you gonna run your mouth like that and pop like that, bitch, keep that same energy when you see me. Drop a pin. Pull up. That's all. We can discuss it with fist. The scary bitches never want to do that. So, working on growth. How I have worked on my anger, though, is I put it into the things that make me happy. I put it into I put it into Queen Alchemy. I put it into Marley. I journal. I ground. I actually real life want to get into boxing. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I'm going to buy me a bag and everything. I'm not playing. Like, I real life want to get into boxing because it's illegal to hit people. So let me hit something that I'm not going to go to jail for is how I see it. Far as being, molested and sexually assaulted, there's nothing I can do about being molested. Okay, and I know this. And I'm not there anymore. But what gets on my nerves is because I am, and it's something that I just deal with, all honesty. Even though it gets on my nerves, I just deal with it because I put myself out there. It's like, yes, I talk about me being molested now, but I'm not in that space anymore of where I'm angry at the people who molested me because they molested me. No, I'm angry at the people who molested me, and I'm angry at my family because I feel disrespected and not heard. I'm past the fact that I got molested. I've been holding that shit in for decades. Y'all just now finding out about it. I have processed through that shit. I realize everyone's not gonna get it, and I realize there's a lot of people in this world that have been through it, not just me. My cousin has a whole entire book out on what she went through. And she has been someone who has been amazing with my growth. And I barely talk to this lady, and it's not because of her, it's because of me. Because people really do not believe I have social anxiety. I have an amazing personality. This is something I have realized about myself. I love my personality. Y'all, I'm like this when I'm like this when I'm by my damn self. Okay, I be weak as hell at myself. Y'all should see me in the car. Oh my goodness. Like, I be turned up to the music. Like, oh gracious. I be having too much fun. But I love my personality, and I've become more comfortable through therapy and through my healing that everyone is not gonna like it. Some people are not comfortable with it just because they have a dry ass personality. It's not my fault. It's not, though. And I've had to learn I'm not responsible for other people being uncomfortable. I said I'm not responsible for other people being uncomfortable. So I have to stop blaming myself or stop trying to dim my light to make other people more comfortable. And that's something else I had to learn. So me coming out and saying my truth, that yes, at the age of 4, my cousin, who's a year older than me, told me take my clothes off. And that's when me being molested got started. And to be able to give details to the very last time I was molested by a family member, where my teenage cousin told his 12-year-old little cousin, that be me, to lay on the floor and push my breasts together so he could titty fuck me, and he ejaculated on me and left me there on the floor, and I had to find something to wipe it off. But I'm also comfortable enough to say that is what I've been through. But this is who I am now. I am a product of my past. But I'm not a victim to my pain. I am a student to my mistakes. But no circumstance can blow out my flame. Don't make me start spitting my whole poem. That is a poem I have called The Koncrete Rose, okay? That's what I'm talking about when I say that, though. I know people hear my poetry and I'm like, oh, I love your poetry. Listen to what the fuck I'm really saying, though. That's how I was able to save myself, y'all. I put it into my purpose. Writing is my purpose. It started at 4. making what y'all call spiritual products. My apothecary, though, is my purpose. I've been doing this shit longer than what I realized. Like, I've been pulling headaches out of people's heads for years. Since I was like a teenager, I think I started playing with people's chakras. Since I was a little kid, I started playing with my own chakras. I found my third eye when I was in elementary school. And I used to play with it all the time. I didn't know that tingly feeling in between my eyebrows is actually a chakra. So I just give to my gifts. And I'm learning to be more comfortable with who I am and saying these are my gifts. Fuck if you like it or not. I'm going to be the best to ever do it at this shit. Learning to believe in myself again is how I work through these challenges. I am constantly facing obstacles, and I know these obstacles will not go away. But how I approach it, address it, and see it can make it go away quicker. Or can make it dealing with it a little bit easier. Okay? So, some of the successes I've had is actually being able to heal and see life different. To know, Nina, you're not actually a bad person. You just had some fucked up shit happen to you a lot of your life. But that does not have to be the end of your story. To actually know that, yo, what if you would have committed suicide for real that time, or that time, or that time, or that time? You wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't be an iHeartRadio and NAACP performer. You wouldn't have a picture with the ambassador of Sierra Leone. You wouldn't have done this, been here, or met this person. I done seen fucking Daphne Reed walk 10 feet in front of me, y'all. And I know a lot of people don't know who that is. That's the second mama on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, that might not be a big deal to some of y'all, but to me, it is. Like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is such a classic. And to know that, even though I don't think Daphne comes from this area, but Tim Reed, her husband, does, and also the daddy off of Fresh Prince, I can't think of his name right now, he does too. So I'm seeing basically people from my area in front of me actually be a success. And I get to actually see somebody 10 feet in front of me be a success that's married to somebody from my area. And I'm around all these successful people. Like, it's a big deal. To be able to live in your purpose, y'all, and you start seeing things naturally happen, is what it's about. That's what needs to keep you going and keep you motivated every day. I had to find something to keep me motivated. But the best thing out of all of this, turning, of course, my pain into purpose, is finding myself again. I am real life getting back to who I used to be before a lot of this shit happened in my quote-unquote adulthood. Because I'm including also my ex-fiance, but I was a teenager when me and him met, but I was 18, so adulthood, you know. But I'm getting back to the good parts of me, because they've been hidden so long up under the pain, the betrayal, the drama, the trauma. Okay, both. Like radio, both. Trauma and drama. But they've been buried for so long under just so much negative shit. And I'm starting to see it come back. I'm starting to see the person that now I understand why my friends, whether they be old, new, or people I ain't even friends with no more, why they always want to talk to me, why they always want to be around me. I'm starting to see that person come back. I'm actually believing in myself and the things I can get done and accomplish. And just because I have a setback or something may not be as successful as I wanted it to, or my day may not have went how I wanted it to, or I may have to cut somebody off or have to call myself on some shit, it does not take away from the fact that I am a good person with a good heart and I'm trying my best. And that's what I try to stay focused on. And the fact that I get to help people Because even though me and her have our issues, I love my mama. I get my big heart from my mama. My mama always helping people. My mama always had me volunteering, doing something. And that shit is just naturally in me. And gracious, y'all emails, y'all comments, y'all inboxes, some of y'all text messages. Like, I'll be real life crying. I real life do. Like, when I read it, and it take me a minute sometimes to respond back to y'all, because it got to sink in. Like, this person is real life telling me I changed their life. And I'm like, what if I would have committed suicide? I remember I was talking to one of y'all, I think it was 2 years ago. We was doing a video chat session. And bless your heart, because you so sweet, boo. And I told her, because I wasn't open with y'all yet, about the fact that I had recently tried to commit suicide. And I told her how recent it was. And it was like a couple months before I talked to her. And she was like, oh my God. And she just started crying. And I did not realize how much of an effect I have on y'all. But I definitely get it now. Trust me when I say, because by the time I get off of this here thing called YouTube, I definitely know, even if I don't gain another fucking subscriber, I did what the fuck I came to do, which was to help people, to help y'all heal yourself, believe in yourself, and go out there and be the best version of yourself. Because that's all I try to be. That's all I try to be. So, y'all, this is what made me start my healing journey. This is what I've been facing on it, and this is what's keeping me going, all honesty. Like, nobody has all the answers. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's gonna get the shit right every fucking time. But it's about healing. So, we don't have another fucked up cycle of people creating more havoc in this beautiful thing that we call Earth. We need to treat Mother Earth right, y'all. We are a reflection of not only our great divine, but we are also a reflection of the earth. Have you ever noticed that? As above, so below. What you think they talking about? The earth reflects itself. Did you ever notice that? I remember my sis had stated in her video, because I didn't post her whole video, I just posted a clip. The one I put on Instagram, when I was like, Virgo vibes and trendy shit must die. She said later on in that video, and I agree with it, even though I know I'm not going to live by it, but I agree with it though. She was like, somebody had pointed out to her, what do you think we're doing to the earth every time we snatch crystals out of it so we can wear it or have it in our house? The earth put that there for a reason. What do you think we're doing to the energy of the earth every time we drill that shit out of it or cut that shit out of it? Fucking with the energy. So not only do we need to treat the earth right, as far as treating the water better, the air better, the animals better, the land better, but we also need to work on self as well and make sure that we don't continue putting out such negative energy into the earth, because she already done took enough. So do your part, okay? And become in alignment not only with your purpose through your healing, your reflections, and walking in your purpose, but also making sure you do your part to make sure that we take better care of this earth, because she picks up on all our energy. And if we are all walking around depressed, hurt, stagnant, procrastinating, holding on to negative, toxic shit, doing harmful things to ourselves, what do you think the earth is doing? Just think about it. Make sure you take care of yourself. You love on yourself. And journal exercise. What made you start your healing journey? What are some of your challenges you have come up against? What has been some of your successes? And what is keeping you going? I love you, babies. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Mwah.